People think a double life begins with a lie. But mine began with applause. Funny thing about admiration, it blinds them before I ever have to. They see a goddess under chandeliers, diamonds, charity, the perfect wife. They clap so loudly they could never hear the gun in my purse, or the countdown in my ear. Humanitarian of the year? If only they knew what I really save people from. There it is. The voice that knows the real me.
Target is in position.
My applause becomes a pulse. My smile becomes a mask. I walk through rooms the way a match walks into a forest, soft, fragile, seconds from becoming the wildfire. Everyone wants a piece of me. I give them the version of me they want. Gentle, generous, predictable. But masks don't grow heavy. The truth beneath them does. When the world sleeps, I let myself breathe. Diamonds off, hair up, heart off. They call me Aurora here. I don't do this for pleasure. I do it to balance the scales that powerful men like to tip. Donovan Wraith. An aging thief dressed as a savior. Corruption always has good lighting and a charity auction somewhere. People think what we assassins do make us feel guilt. But all I feel is precision. One breath, one step, one injection. A life ends. And for a heartbeat, the world tilts closer to justice. Ethan Marrow entered my life the way a warm breeze slips into a closed room. Quietly, gently, without asking permission. One moment I was falling, bracing myself for the cold brutality of steel and concrete. And then he caught me, not falling from grace. No, I fell from scaffolding. His hands were warm. His eyes were honest in that inconvenient way honest eyes are. Ethan Marrow, an architect who builds things, while I specialize in taking things apart. I should have walked away in that moment, but I didn't. That night, the universe played its cruelest joke. A new file arrived. Every mission has a file. I opened it expecting another monster. I found my husband. And worse was the version of him I had never dared to see. The man who kissed my forehead in our kitchen was also the man burying secrets 6 feet deep. Daylight became a lie I lived with Adrian. Night became the truth I watched him drown in. Every betrayal I uncovered cut deeper than any mission wound. And Ethan. Ethan became oxygen in a world filled with smoke. He saw me. Not the mask I used. Not the performance I perfected. Me. Kills are easy. Love is not. He began showing up everywhere, but never in a way that felt intentional. He seemed to orbit my life with a kind of effortless awareness, noticing things no one else did. And then came that night. It was quiet. Late. The world half asleep. We sat beneath a flickering streetlight, and for the first time in years, I allowed myself to feel the weight of someone's gaze without hiding behind a mask. Ethan touched my cheek, barely grazing it. We stood inches apart. Breaths tangled, hearts unguarded, and we nearly kissed. But I stepped away. I forced myself to. Because desire does not erase vows, and longing does not excuse betrayal. I was still a wife, Adrian's wife, bound to a man I thought I knew, tied to a life I could not simply abandon in the arms of someone who made me feel safe. Adrian noticed the shift immediately. Men like him always do. They don't understand emotional intimacy, but they recognize when something threatens their control. I felt caught between two worlds. The marriage I had committed myself to. The structure I had built around my carefully curated existence. And the man who reminded me that my heart was not a dead thing, but a sleeping one. The guilt gnawed at me, but the truth was even more dangerous. I liked who I was when Ethan looked at me. I liked the version of myself that didn't need to lie.
Thought you could use this.
Ethan didn't back away,
Thank you.
even when he sensed the storm tightening around us. Instead, he became more present, more protective. He approached me not with aggression or desperation, but with patience. Adrian, however, Adrian was not idle. In the shadows where he thrived, he plotted something dark, something cruel, something that would sever the last thread of loyalty I still held for him. Whatever had existed between us was buried long before that moment. But what he did, that was unforgivable. Even for a man like him. I felt it before I knew it. A sharp pull in my chest during a board meeting, like a whisper slicing through bone. I couldn't explain it, and without waiting for permission or explanation, I ran. I didn't even grab my coat. I just ran. When I reached the construction site, the chaos struck me like a physical blow. Dust clouds, screaming workers, collapsing scaffolds. And there, in the middle of the wreckage, was Ethan. Alive, shaken, covered in dust and debris. I didn't need evidence or files or surveillance footage. I knew with a certainty that chilled me to my core. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't misfortune. This was Adrian. Ethan didn't ask questions even after the incident. He asked if I was all right. That question is what undid me. The night Adrian fell, I didn't pull a trigger. I turned off the lights on him. He touched the one person I've grown to love. I could have ended Adrian with a gunshot, a whisper, a vial. But the worst punishment for a corrupt man is the truth. And the truth is, I, Seraphine Vale, codename Aurora, a rank 1 assassin, killed her dear husband, Adrian Vale, and no one will ever find out. I cleaned all tracks and made sure the word knew how vile Adrian Vale was before his death. People cry for the dead. I cry for the life I buried long before this funeral. Everyone thinks I'm a widow drowning in grief. But the only person I ever let close is watching me from the shadows. He knows. He shouldn't. But he does.
What are you, Seraphine?
Do you really want to know?